Hi, Chef K here. Welcome to Divine Cuisine. You know, doing what we do here, cooking and ministry in the same video, sometimes gets a little, shall we say, interesting responses. I received one the other day, and he summed it up, said, "Chef, you're nuts." And I thought, well, I'm not going to respond to that part, but there's a good opportunity here. Nuts. What can we do with some nuts? One of the most popular things now in restaurants is to candy coat the nut with a little bit of spices and then put them on salads. And other things, of course. Who hasn't ever had a great slice of pecan pie, right? So there's many things you can do with the simple nuts. Today we're going to do a simple recipe how to candy coat spiced pecans. So stay tuned. And of course, we'll have a interesting little discussion from scripture about nuts. All right, to start our nuts, we're going to use maple syrup, some regular granulated sugar. Don't forget, go to chefk.com to get the recipe. To this, we'll add our spices. First, some cinnamon. Next, ginger. Lastly, we're going to put a little bit of cayenne pepper in there. Yes, you heard me right. Cayenne pepper. Not a lot. Just going to put a half a teaspoon in. Finally, add some melted butter. Stir that all up so it makes a nice kind of a simple syrup. Now we'll add our pecans. You can do this with any kind of nut at all, but we like pecans. They go really nice on salads. Mix them up really well. Make sure all that sugary coating coats all the nuts. Then take a lined baking sheet and just spread them out on the baking sheet. Make sure they're separated. You don't want them stacked on top of each other. Now we're going to bake this in a preheated oven, 300 degrees, and it's going to take between 30 and 40 minutes. However, at the 20-minute mark, take them out of the oven, stir them up, and finish them then. And we'll show you that as we progress. So this is our halfway point with our nuts. Let's give them a good little stir. And again, make sure that they're not stacked on top of each other. We'll put them back in the oven for about another 20 minutes. All right, our nuts are done. Now what we're going to do is let them completely cool, and we'll break them up. All right, our candy pecans are all nice and cooled. We broke them up, and here's your finished product. They're absolutely delicious. You're going to love them. So go ahead and enjoy them. So that's our candied pecans, and you know they're simply delicious. And you know what? What's there an example of? Let me read you this scripture. Genesis 43, verse 11. And then their father Jacob said unto them, if it has to be that way, then do this. Take some of the best foods in our land in your packs. Give them to the man as a gift. Take some balm, some honey, some spices, myrrh, pistachio nuts, and almonds. So look, right there, you can do the honey and the spices, coat the pistachio nuts and almonds, and have a great nut, just like we did with the pecans. But you want to notice something that's really interesting about this scripture? He was giving a gift. Always, God is gifting to us something better, something great. What did he say here? He said, take the best of the land. When you give your gift, when you go to God with your gift, whatever it may be, give your best. Find a place to do your giving, but give your best. Don't be stingy. Don't be cheap. Don't think a little bit. Give your very best. Why? Because that's what God did for us. We know, of course, in John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever should believe on him should not perish, but having everlasting life. That was God's best. He could have gave angels. He could have gave something else that was created. He had the whole universe at his hands, but he took the best that he had and he gave it to you. So when you're giving, and you should give, we're not going to get into that in this scripture, but there's a lot of teaching you can find on my websites about giving. Giving your best. In all you do, in everything you give, just make sure it's your best. And then God will be on your side. Until next time, Chef K.